Part 5 of Robb Pondicate's Building a House. This gets more into site selection and such like that.
Anyway, so that's high and dry, and when you build your house, you want to do high and dry, and so many people don't do that, and it's such a simple thing. So when you're thinking of building a house, particularly here in Thailand with the flooding and the rainy season can be rainy, you'll get some rains. Like I've never seen rain this hard before. It isn't as much as I thought it would be, but when it rains, man, it can really, really rain. I don't know how many inches they get, Bobby. They get like 3 or 4 inches in a couple of hours or something. I mean, it's insane. It's like 1,000 fire hoses over your house, over your little piece of land, just plunging down. I've never seen it like that. But you know, so you want to pick a good location. I wouldn't pick a spot at the end of a place where all the cattle from a region defecate. I wouldn't live there. I wouldn't pick a low area. I wouldn't pick a swamp because of mosquitoes and disease. I wouldn't do that. You know, I wouldn't pick an area that's got a horrible odor. I've seen very nice areas, and there's certain streets that there'll be an odor will collect. Again, Thailand doesn't have a lot of topography, so if there's a little bit of a low or a little bit of a high, that seems to drastically affect the microclimate to that area. And you can look up microclimate, but my architectural prof explained that to me at Michigan State University, and I remember whispering to one of my classmates, "Oh, he's full of crap. That's not real." And he was right, of course. He was obviously right. Microclimate is a thing. The 1 acre of land can be hot at one end and cold at the other because the orientation, the reflection of the sun, the absorption of the sun based on a soft or a hard soil, concrete or not. It's shocking. My half-acre lot in Michigan, where the house we owned that we raised our kids in mostly, it would be 15, 20 degrees Fahrenheit different between the front and the backyard for those reasons. So I used to think all the time, well, you know, what a dummy I was. That guy was dead on. I was laughing at him, and he was right. So I would pick a good microclimate. Shoot some video last night walking around the lot at Fawns lot. I'll try to put that in next and narrate that. Here I am yet again with the Apple AirPods in, but I can't carry my camera and video equipment around wherever I go, so apologize. But I actually am walking right by Fawns, one piece of land. She owns several pieces of land, by the way. But here's her place where she wants to build her dream house. Let me turn the camera around. Okay, hang on. So hang on, I'll show you. There's the road where I walk. There's the Chinese cemetery. These are all rice paddies. That's some wetlands. That's like vacant land, scrubland of some kind. There's a rather pretty horizon. The critical part, for my point, is the sun sets that way, and typically, as there is right now, a breeze coming from that direction. That you can just see that scrubby fence line right along in there, that tree. That is the rear border of the property. This is about a rye and a third, okay? And maybe I'll even go up there and shoot a little bit. Hang on, see if I can get up there. And so things I do for my viewership. There's a little bump of dirt there. Let me just kind of straddle it and step right over it, as long as I was careful to watch any delicate bits along the top of the barbed wire. Hang on, let's see. So now we're on Fawn's land that she wants to build on. She's got multiple pieces that'd be suitable, but this is the prettiest. I'm just watching for snakes. There's a particular snake here, the Malaysian pit viper, not rare, extremely deadly, actually. And it's the only snake that I know of that doesn't get out of the way when you walk by. Typically, if you make noise. I have no fear of snakes, by the way. I kept them as pets. Had a large python as a pet. Only sold it when it was big enough to eat my daughter. And I'm like, you know, it's in a really secure cage that I built myself that I couldn't get out of if I wanted to. But, you know, you do weigh the positives and negatives of that. And it's like, yeah, no real positives outweigh that negative. So get rid of the snake. Anyways, here's the land. Hang on. Here we are. That's her aunt's house. That's back towards the Chinese cemetery. There's somebody coming on a motorcycle in the background. That's all the rice paddies and stuff out there, wetlands and stuff there. Sun rises, or sunsets, excuse me. Sunsets, you can see the clouds lit up barely on this thing. The sun sets right down about there. Varies by time of year, but sets along in there. Of course, then that means the sun rises here. And we did a little soil filling already. This large tamarind tree, which is quite pretty in my opinion, is the center of the property. And you can see the land has been carefully raised in a horseshoe shape all around here. You can just sort of make that out. And the house itself could be built here. And then you say, well, what about your son, Rob? What about Fawns boys and such? Additional rooms can be built down here, and there's room over there for recreational area or whatever, or parking. But on further thought, I'd rather have our own, Fawn likes this too, our own private entrance there and park there. It's an unused little corner of the lot. It's kind of a pie-shaped lot. That's the narrow end of the pie, so there isn't much room to do much anyways, but a two-car carport would fit easily, even a three-car, quite honestly, so probably do something like that. But this is her land, and of course that's a relative's property, future relative's house, existing relative's house, or aunt's house, and all down beyond that, all more relatives' houses. So this land has the most privacy, and it has the prettiest views. So it is really not any question in my mind. It is by far actually the nicest and prettiest piece of land of our entire family in terms of what they occupy. Now they have other significant real estate that's more valuable and all that stuff, and you could live there and everything, but this is what she wants. Now I'm just trying to get her to calm down. I'm trying to get me to calm down, get everybody to calm down. And maybe, I filled the soil for her, so, did that. I could do that with a glad heart, and, that's great. And then it'll need some touch-up filling at some point, and at some point down the road I can do that, and maybe down the road we'll build something. Rent here is super cheap. If you understand how amortization works and making a payment based on the cost or value of something, rent here is calculated at 50%, at half of the calculation of how it would be done in the U.S. So in the U.S. you get something sort of kind of like a 10-year payback period. Here it's based on 20 years. So building stuff for value is like the dumbest potential use of your money here, my opinion. Versus renting, you're twice as smart if you're renting. And you can rent a really nice luxury high-rise condo for $10,000 to $20,000 baht a month, like in Kalat City, like in a posh neighborhood, and triple platinum everything. So, and you can rent a house for $3,000 to $6,000 baht a month or something like that. So, versus construction is, based on the simplicity of the construction as you're seeing me describe it so far, construction is disproportionately expensive. I take that to mean that the construction companies themselves are making a very good profit, very healthy profit. That's my take from it. I could be wrong, I'm probably not. They seem to be making very good money, particularly when they're building for a foreigner, and then they can charge more, and they know that, and hey, what are you going to do? Can you blame them? It's up to everybody to argue and get their own deal. And you can see I'm paying attention to the microclimate, where the sun rises, where the sun sets, where the breeze comes from. Now I'm going to want the walls of the home, and the perimeter wall on the property to all collect, and on most days, and not every day because this is not going to work, but on the bulk of most days as much as reasonably possible, collect and focus that breeze to go through the house, to go through the screen porch, so it's a pleasant breeze all the time. Why wouldn't I want that? You don't want to have your screen porch be where there's a bunch of stagnant air and in the dead sun. Why would you do that? I don't want that either. So, that kind of stuff. But if you get a good microclimate and you manage it, man, that can be a really pleasant place to sit. And that can become a very pleasant place to live day to day. That can feel like the Garden of Eden. That can feel very peaceful and nice. It really can. And I would like that in my retirement. That sounds nice. That's something that it would be worth me spending my 20,000 US for $500,000 baht or more or whatever to do.
Well, I think that's the end of part 5. I'll double check the count, but I think that's where we're at, and I've got some footage to start part 6, which I'll maybe try and wrap it up at that point.
Thank you for supporting my YouTube channel. Thank you very much.